Let's try this again. Hopefully the third time is the charm. I am connected to YouTube. So if you are as annoyed as me with getting kicked off and coming back in, go to YouTube and type in my name and you'll see that I'm live, and watch it on there. So that if we get kicked off again on Facebook, at least you'll be able to watch on YouTube. We have 4 people now. Let's give it a minute. Let me put a message in the Facebook group. So sorry, guys. I chose to go on StreamYard because Facebook is usually wonky and StreamYard is usually really good, but it sounds like Facebook is the issue, not StreamYard. They're not playing nice. Yeah, thank you for jumping over, Sharada, to YouTube. I'm so sorry. I hate when this happens. It totally throws me off. I have ADD to begin with. I don't need technology giving me more ADD. Thank you for your patience. I will also create another video tomorrow and just put some things in there to make up for this. So annoying. Thank you, Samantha, for giving me grace. Just kind of, if anybody can jump on the Facebook group and just tell people how to get to YouTube. Hopefully we'll be together somehow. Somebody said tech issues would have me tossing the laptop. You know what? I've been doing this for 3 years now. So I get it. I know when this happens, so I don't get flustered anymore. I feel for you, not me. It's not about me. This class is for you, not me. So I love having you here and I appreciate you being so patient. So let me try again to get my slides back with you. Okay, so this is beautiful Madison. She did, oh my gosh, Tammy, to do it on Zoom right now would be so complicated getting everybody on there. It would be a bigger nightmare. But thank you for that suggestion. So we didn't stress, we didn't sweat. We knew how to handle it because the girl that took my place is Jessica. She did not know any color when she came to work in the salon, and we had 6 months to fully train her to take my place. So the women that I had done their hair for 25, 30 years were now going to be going to this girl who barely knew how to do color. So I had my work cut out for me. And that's why I know how to do cliff notes and bring everything into smaller digestible pieces, because I've had to do that so many times as a salon owner that I get right to the point. I don't get into all the fluff and all the things that you don't need to know, like the ingredients and the smells and the color and all those other things. So we knew what to do. It's important when you are taking somebody from dark back to light this is where it's tricky. You look at this photo and the whole concept of the 3 zones goes right out the window, because you're like, oh, she's roots to ends, all dark. So what are you talking about 3 zones? I'm looking to see if I'm live in the group. Okay. Everything looks even. Whoever is on Facebook, please go over to YouTube. They are just not having it. Saying we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. It says it's an issue on Facebook, and is it possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook? We'll keep you posted, kind of thing. So, guys, take a minute to jump over to YouTube. All you have to do is type in youtube.com And then in the search bar, type Elaine Travis. It will take you right to my channel and you'll see it live on there. I want to give you a minute to get on there. And if it doesn't work, we're just going to bag tonight and I'll record it and put it in the group. I have a theory of why this is happening, but I'm not going to share it. It's not nice. Good time. For real. All right, let's give it another minute for our YouTube people to jump on. I don't want to give anybody anxiety. I know what it's like trying to track down a training. See, now you guys are learning how to find people on YouTube. It's a good exercise in finding my YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I upload a new video every week. Sharada, I love your attitude. She said, I like YouTube better. That's awesome. Thank you. So the trick to this situation where you're taking somebody from, whether it's a box or it's done by a professional, from dark back to blonde, is treating the hair as if there are 3 different zones, because there still is. So you can't really see it in this photo, but her zone 1 was her beautiful natural color. So what happens when people get in a rush, because when a correction like that comes in, we rarely have the time on our schedule to handle it. So we have that going against us. And then we also have our routine of, just foil it. So when you place hair in a foil, of course, now I don't have the pictures that I need because I had to start a whole new broadcast, but I can put them in the group. You have the virgin at zone 1. So a 20 volume lightener, when it hits that zone 1, is going to come up beautifully, really even, not linger in the gold stage. It's going to lighten awesome. And then you're going to hit that beginning of that feria, and you're going to get that wonky, like deep, deep red that it stays in forever, creeping into orange. And then, pardon me, on the ends, you're going to have like violety red where it's like, forget it, I'm not budging at all. So you have the 3 different tones going through. Let me see if I can bring that color up. No, I'm not going to waste time. We wasted enough time tonight. But I will share it in the group. So you know what that looks like. You've all had that foil that you open up and it's 3 different colors and you're like, crap, what do I do now? So you start opening up those foils and you start mixing up fresh product. And now you're going in with like 40 volume, 50 volume, 100. You're getting whatever strength you can pull out of your arsenal, and you're slapping it on those darker bits and praying to the hair gods that not only will it lift the color off, but she will actually have hair when you're done. That's what we all do. Instead, let's prevent all that in the first place. And let's start with 3 bowls on your tray, 3 different bowls with 3 different strengths of lightener and developer, with 3 different color bowls and or brushes, so that you remember when you're going around that circle of 3 bowls, which one's the strongest, which one's the medium, which one's the most gentle. You want to remember that. So you're going to go gentle at the regrowth, a little bit stronger in the mid area, strongest on the ends in this scenario. Most people will say, why? The ends are compromised. There's blonde under there. But remember, the ends are the most porous. So they're going to soak in the most of that dark color and want to hold on to it. So most times you need the higher strength on the ends. Now, the trick is you don't want to take the time to mix 3 different lighteners, 3 different developers, do all that in the zones in the foil, and then fold it up, clip it up, and move on, because now you've just created one big level 28.5 because you have a 30, a 20, and a 10 all together, and you're like, what's that divided by 3? That's where you are. And that defeats the whole purpose. So there's a technique that I teach called my flat foil technique. And that is the purpose for that. So use 3 different strengths, keep the foil completely flat, let it process that way. And when you pull the foils, everything will be perfectly even. So this after photo was one visit, one time, just using the flat foil technique and a glaze. And she looked that great that day. So don't get me started on the forums on do a bleach bath and do this and do that. No, you don't want to put bleach all over a head that has bleach under another color. It's you're creating a bigger mess. Gentle, slow, steady will get you there, and her hair will be in much better condition. Donna said it's not matching up on Facebook. I guess there's a different delay. Maybe YouTube is officially live. I don't know. I can't believe you can even see me on Facebook right now. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep talking because that's what I do. Okay. There's the picture. I thought I didn't have it. Okay, so this is the picture I was trying to describe, and we've all seen that, the one on the left. And you see on the right, that's the reality. Virgin at the roots, previously covered, dark in the mids, pre-lightened 4 times on the ends. You're going to end up with that mishmash on the right if you treat it all the same in a traditional foil. So I'm glad you got to see that picture. This is one of our offenders of the blonde to black and back and back and back and back. Both her and my niece are the chronic offenders. They like to change their color quarterly, basically. Every Christmas, they are brunettes. Right around Easter, they start to get spring fever and they're getting ready for the summer. So I would say Easter to Father's Day, they're like that caramel, trying to ease into blonde again. And then by summer, they are blonde like the photo on the left, only to then, when the fall hits, go back dark again. So the picture you're seeing on the right is filling the hair with that orange that's missing. So as frightening as that looks, that's what needed to happen to her hair for her to accept the final shade of the Kardashian dark. So we filled her with the shade on the right. We put all the orange back in. That was first. Then we rinse it, towel dry it really well, get her ready for her final result. And that's the final result. And that was done with a level 4 Shades EQ. I don't know about you, but that looks Kardashian black to me. So I think sometimes we overshoot our dark colors and think they have to be charcoal, blacktop road. Hair is going to absorb a lot of those cool tones. She has texture in her hair. She gets Brazilian blowouts. She has really fine hair, very porous. So she did not need anything deeper than a level 4 to make her that gold color. So this is the chart that I was telling you that I highly recommend that you find online. And if you are a Shades EQ user, I highly recommend asking your rep for the physical chart. If I were still behind the chair every day, I would want this chart laminated in my cabinet where I mix my color. I want it to be my ultimate cheat sheet so that when I'm stressing over what do I need, this is what you need. Now, this is what happens. I'm going to check in and make sure everybody's with me. So on this chart, when you see this, I want you to tell me when you're trying to choose a shade of color, if you are a Shades EQ user and you have used it in the past and you've seen this chart in the past, tell me what you look at when you look at the chart. I want to hear from you what it is that you look at. Do you look at the photos of what the color looks like and then decide whether that's the shade that you want? Do you fall in love with the names of the color, like an OPI nail polish where you're like, oh, I want papaya, or I want espresso, or I can't even see. Let me look on my phone. Sometimes we get caught up in the romance of the names of the colors. And those photos, honestly, are useless. I'll take macchiato, please, with some Tenerife lowlights. So they do have shades like OPI, butterscotch, saffron, Saint Tropez, Midas Touch, mango. I'm seeing these names for the first time. I've used Shades EQ for 25 years, and I don't know a single thing other than papaya that is the name of a color. So when people reach out to me and ask me questions, my members, when they're like, help, I have so-and-so in my chair, I need blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I'm thinking of using espresso. I'm like, what is espresso? Tell me what that is. Enlighten me, because I never go by names. How can you? How can you have that be your go-to when it's a descriptive word? I don't know if that's a 4, a 5, an 8, a 7, or anywhere in between. So when you look at this chart, I don't want you to look at the pictures. This is not picture time in 3rd grade, it's story time. This is a tool to show you what it is that you're using. You are working with a chemical. Most of you have no idea what you're doing with it. You're just playing art school. Like, oh, that looks, ooh, mango. I want to make her mango. And you pour it in a bowl, or you put it in a bottle, and you put it on her hair, and you go in the back room and you chat to your coworkers, and you go back out and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? That's really dark. And it's like, okay, well, did you know what you were putting in there? Did you pay attention to what level it was? Do you know what you put it on? 50% of every formula, whether permanent or demi-permanent, 50% of every formula is already in the hair. So whatever you mix in that bowl, add in what's on the hair to that formula. That's how it works. You're not painting a white piece of paper. If the client is white, and I'm saying white, not gray, not gunmetal gray, not silver, white. If she has white hair, that is the only time that mango will be mango, that Tenerife will be Tenerife, that a 4 is going to be a 4 and a 7 is going to be a 7. That's it. Either the hair is white from nature, or it's almost white because it's been pre-lightened. That's the only time you're going to get the exact result, and nothing else is going to come into play. Otherwise, 50% is in the hair. If you get nothing else from this shit show of a class, if you've been in and out and cursing me out and you're on your 3rd cigarette, I have you so damn nervous, this is the nugget. 50% is in the hair. So when you're correcting a blonde that's too yellow, 50% of your formula is yellow. Whatever you're putting on it, you're adding to the yellow. That's the key to the castle. That is the mic drop. I should end the class right now, because if you really get the enormity of what I'm saying, you cannot go back tomorrow and formulate the way you did today. You can't. You can't possibly go back to where you were today. So let that sink in and understand that fully. No. And I know you're not Vincent. I know you said you're under your husband, but Vincent Sanato, love the name. No, gray hair does not apply, because gray hair is bringing something to the party as well. It still has color in it. It's just gray color. So that is huge. So if you are having toning issues, that is why you're not considering that you're not working on a blank canvas, and your toner that you're mixing in your bowl is what you're expecting on your head, and it's never going to happen. So this photo I added in here because a lot of people ask me about hot roots, but hot roots is not the only thing that happens with color that's not treated properly with zones. There's brownout. If you've ever heard the term, her end's browned out, or, she's really browned out, people throw it around. It's an old school term that people may not use anymore. You may look at this photo and call this hot roots. This isn't hot roots. Her roots are stunning and beautiful and match her skin, her complexion, her eye color. Everything is on point. But down here is deep and brown and off tone. She doesn't have the copper brightness and sparkle that she has up here, and that's called brownout. And what that means is if you continue to refresh hair color with permanent color, old school, I've been doing this 35 years. So when I first became a hairdresser, we didn't have Shades EQ. We didn't have demi color. We didn't have anything but these bottles of filler that were like these sparkly liquid things that look like it was in a pharmacy, like a clear jar with like an auburn color, a bright gold color. They were fillers. Other than that, you had permanent color, period. So the rule in beauty school was, apply the color to her regrowth, set the timer for 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, take a squirt bottle, mist her ends, take what's left in the bowl, smush it all through her zones 2 and 3 for the last 10 minutes, bring her to the sink, shampoo her, and that will refresh her ends. But think about it from a chemical perspective. Again, I'm not a chemist. I don't claim to be a chemist. I just understand what it is that I'm doing when I'm coloring hair. That's it. So permanent color both lifts and deposits. And again, it has no brain. It doesn't know, oh, she wants me only to deposit this time. I'm not gonna lift because we're on zones 2 and 3. The hair color's not having that combo in the bowl. It's not happening. The hair color's saying, oh, I got to lift, I got to deposit. I got to lift, I got to deposit. So when this, even if you add water to it, when you're putting permanent ammoniated hair color with alkalinity through zones 2 and 3, it's trying to lift, and the porous ends are going to grab on to the base of the color. Did you ever leave a tube of color out and you put the first squirt in the bowl and it's that like gross, really dark, really murky, muddy, flat color? That's the base that you're seeing in the color. So if someone like this woman here, I have a gnat chasing me now. This, Jeff, I swear to God, now I have a rogue gnat in my face. I'm not meant to be here tonight. So her formula, even though it is a red color, there's probably brown in the base of her color, like an RB is a beautiful color when you want it to be RB. She's trying to be copper. So someone refreshed her ends and made them, maybe use permanent color, and the brownout happened. It grabbed the base of the color on the ends, and that's why that is deeper than the top. So in nature, I mean, anything goes with hair color, right? I mean, you've seen it all, especially in the last 10, 15 years, anything goes, but most times this part of the head should always be deeper than this part of the head. It shouldn't be the other way around. You shouldn't have, really dark down here and blonde up here. We don't see much of that walking around on purpose. So that's what it looks like when someone gets browned out. It's their overtoned, the color grabbed the base and made it to deep, and it lost its vibrancy. And the copper was the first to go. So I don't recommend refreshing with permanent color for that reason. When I refresh ends, when I'm doing a single process retouch, even if I'm using permanent on the regrowth, I always refresh with demi-permanent in one level lighter and warmer for zones 2 and 3 for that reason. Overcompensating for porosity issues, for fading, for all of those things, because I always want it to look a little sparkly and just a little bit lighter on the mids and ends. If someone wants that last photo and they want that, like, I am committed to being a Kardashian, like she didn't want a shimmer or sparkle showing through. She wanted that matte, dark, rich color. Then I do it on level or deeper. I don't go lighter, but most time, no, I didn't kill it, Candace. Donna, You're going to see Donna is teaching and she's like, I need to get in the flow of teaching. This is what teaching is, Donna. When you're teaching live, you got to chase the gnat. You got to laugh. You just got to laugh. It's entertaining. Who's MM? MM says, grab a cocktail. It's education on a show tonight. Yes, it certainly is. You're seeing me at my best. Okay, let me go back and see what's left here. Oh, that's it. So that was the final slide. So because tonight was so wonky, does anyone have like a question that's going to drive you crazy going to bed tonight? I don't want to leave you hanging, but I also want to save Q&A for the master classes because that's when we really go in on questions and answers. But my God, tonight, I don't even know what to even say about what I can go back over. Somebody asked for a soap cap. Okay, so I have been doing hair 35 years. I have done a double process, global roots to ends lightening on maybe 4 clients in my entire career and didn't love the result of any of them, even though it was done properly. I just don't find it to be the most flattering look. And I think the hair just is completely gone when you go that far. I have never, ever, ever done a soap cap. And I know people are going to say, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I know everybody's taught differently, but to me, to put, bleach on the whole entire head to correct something that may be in one spot or that needs just slight improvement, I am, color remover, Malibu C products, flat foil technique. Like I go about it completely different. I do not globally smash bleach and shampoo all over the head. And I know great colorists who do. So I'm not shitting on the idea. It's just not my style to do that. I feel like it creates a bigger mess than simply just stepping back. Like last night we talked about stepping back and keeping. A couple of you wrote to me and said that was your aha moment, that like, look and see what you can keep in the hair before you go in and just get rid of everything. Look and see what you can keep and then do less work. I'm going to stop sharing here. You can do less work and get where you need to go and keep the hair healthy. Tracy said, I never had success with a bleach cap. I can understand why, because it's so unpredictable. It's so, I think I swallowed the gnat now. Oh, dear Lord. It's in the back of my throat. All right. I think I might have to call it a night. I have no voice now. Christine is asking, will the whole video be on your site tomorrow? I'm going to try. I'm going to go in to this platform and download all of the partial videos. And my daughter is probably running for the hills. She has to fly tomorrow, so it may not be right away, but I will do my best to get it up as soon as possible. But all 3 mishaps are going to be on the Facebook page because they stay there. So if you have the patience to go through, if you have the patience to go through it and watch them separately, then you can do that. But I will have her piece them all together and create one, hopefully not annoying version of all of them. So thank you for the laughs and the patience. I know there were nuggets in spite of all of our issues. I know that you all learned something tonight. And you got entertained. So it's better than watching that same old rerun on Netflix. Sharon, my question. Oh, hold on, Sharon. Your question just moved. Let me go back to you. My question is from yesterday in regard to don't use permanent color when root shadowing. So what is best to use when some gray coverage is needed? So this is a complex answer. I don't consider, when I'm covering gray and highlighting, I don't consider that a root shadow. A root shadow by definition for me, and I know there's all different versions. There's shadow root, root shadow, base extend. There's all different names for it. But when I am shadowing out foil marks and deepening the roots of a fresh highlight, I call that a root shadow. And I use a demi color, and I'm not covering gray. I'm taking natural hair, highlighting it, and then going with liquid demi and shadowing out that root a little bit and giving it depth again. If a client has gray coverage and needs permanent color, underline bold needs, Sharon, if they are strictly trying to cover gray and they're not trying to lighten their base, they just want their gray covered. If they are 50% or less gray, I will cover their gray with demi. So you can shadow root with that in that instance. But for me, I have both, and I do my regrowth first with a liquid demi, and then I highlight over top because I want to make sure I have to leave my regrowth on for 45 minutes. So I hope that helped answer your question. Bloopers, yes, we need to do the bloopers after. Tamika said, hope the rest of your night is not free. I hope so too. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to ask a favor of all of you to make my night, since it didn't start out so well. I would love for you all to share your experience in boot camp on your social media and tag me. We're going to be giving away a prize. We're going to enter everyone into a drawing that shares on social media, because there's more of you out there. There's people that don't know about this boot camp. They didn't hear about it. They have no idea. And it's not too late to catch up. They can watch both whatever tonight was and last night. You got me more water. And also tomorrow night and the master classes. So it's not too late. So please share on social media. I love to see the creativity that people have, taking pictures of themselves and then showing on the computer that they're watching, whatever it may be. It really makes me happy to see people sharing it. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I will see you all tomorrow night. We're going to start in the Facebook group and see how that goes. I don't have to have slides tomorrow, so I might try doing it a different way to not rely on this glitchiness. So if I end up doing it straight to YouTube, I will put a notification in the Facebook group. So just kind of take a peek before you log on, and we'll see what's going on tomorrow. So thank you so much, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place.